Ken Trahan with Lenny Vangilder of SportsNola.com. Glad to have you with us, and it's been a very interesting football week already. The Saints and the Packers, and Green Bay wins 42-34, and watching Jim Mora on the coverage on WDSU really brought to mind what this game was all about in my mind. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. The Saints had many opportunities in the red zone. Could have scored, should have scored, didn't score, they lose. And Lenny, that is what happens against good teams. You simply can't miss those opportunities and win a game.
I'm inclined to say the Saints didn't do diddly-poo in short yardage, but that's, that I think when you look back at this game, that's ultimately what it's going to come down to. But a couple of things come to mind, especially as you look at the last play of the game. One is the Packers guessed right. They thought the Saints were going to just run the ball up the middle. They sold out everything. Had there been a play-action pass called with one of the tight ends or perhaps the fullback leaking out for a pass, would have been wide open. But that's that's what we do here. We're Friday morning or Monday morning quarterbacks. We could sit here and guess that. Sean Payton gets paid a lot of money to make those calls right then. And that's one thing that came to mind as well. This is game one of a 16-game season. Certainly would have been great to win last night, but I think he realizes that if this team is going to get back to the Super Bowl like it did 2 years ago, or get back to the championship game like it did the first year, the thing that those two teams did well that the other three teams did not do as well is run the football, and you've got to be able to do that. And that's ultimately what last night's last play might have come down to.
Well, the second-guessers are out there, and understandably so. Can't make 4th and inches, try to play action pass and throw the ball. That backfired big time earlier, and thus the last play of the game, really a sidebar to that. They tried to go the other way and force it in, and it didn't work. So you can complain about throwing the ball on 4th and inches. You can complain about not throwing the ball on 4th and inches. Ultimately, it comes down to execution, and the Saints did not execute when they had to, and as a result, wasted a brilliant performance by Drew Brees. Darren Sproles, a phenomenal performance as well. Listen, the Saints probably won't play a team better than the Packers this year, and there they were with a chance on the last play of the game to force it into overtime. So you look at it from that perspective, that's the bright side. Lenny, the downside is the play of the defense. They simply were not competitive in this game.
Well, I think Greg Williams tried a lot of things. I mean, obviously, we knew the numbers going in that Aaron Rodgers was better than any quarterback in the NFL last year facing pressure. So you weren't going to see him dial up blitz after blitz after blitz, and obviously he didn't. He tried to mix things up, and Rodgers just picked his defense apart. Now, they did come up with some stops when they needed to have them, and but there just weren't enough of them, I guess, is what it comes down to.
College football, Tulane at home against Tulsa. This is a team that's owned Tulane. They've beaten them and beaten them badly since Tulane's been in Conference USA with Tulsa. No Damaris Johnson certainly hurts Tulsa. Tulane's got some safety issues. Could this be a breakthrough type of game for Tulane?
I think it can be. This is, as I alluded to this week on SportsNola.com, this is the next big game for Bob Toledo and his group. They've had these opportunities before and haven't won them. This is a chance to break through. There's a lot of things that can be accomplished tomorrow that haven't been accomplished in a long time. Most notably is the fact that Tulane, amazingly, has been 2-0 exactly 2 times in 35 years. They got a chance to be 2-0 for only the 3rd time since 1975.
Yeah, they've got to be able to slow Tulsa down just a bit to give themselves a chance, and must score 30 points, I think, to be able to win the game. But they've got them at home, and it would be a gigantic win with 3 road games, albeit winnable road games, to follow. LSU at home against Northwestern State. This should be a game where LSU is able to rest some players at some point and to play some young players, you would think.
Certainly an opportunity, more so than what you would have had last week against Oregon, to get some guys into the game. Most notably, I'll be interested to see Zach Mettenberger. If Jordan Jefferson is suspended and not back for the entire year, Mettenberger becomes your number 2 guy behind Jarrett Lee, and he has not taken a snap in a Division I college football game. And you've got to at least see what he can do because, as the saying goes, he is one play away from being your starter.
And Terrence McGee, another young player that you want to watch for if he plays from Franklinton. He's a really talented running back. The question for LSU is, when do you make that decision about redshirting? Because that opportunity is about to go away, so you've got to make a call here pretty soon. And who plays in this game could well be determined by who they decide they are going to redshirt. Bottom line is LSU should win and win easy. Tulane should lose, but you give them a chance, right?
Absolutely, Tulane has a chance. Now, I did pick Tulsa this morning on Sports Nola, and of course LSU as well. But certainly this is the type of game that can come down to the fourth quarter and who makes plays. And I think it's perhaps the most interesting game on the docket of Louisiana schools this weekend.
Should be fun to watch high school football. Of course, Ken Trahan's original on WGSO Friday night, 6 to midnight, and also on 6 radio stations, 3 websites. We hope you'll tune into that and watch our one-of-a-kind scoreboard at sportsnola.com all throughout the evening Friday night from all over the states where everybody comes. We hope you will do that, too. By the way, through 1 week, Emmanuel Peppas, the leader in our Pick'em contest. We've got to change that.
We got to do something about that.
All right, Lenny. Thanks very much. Enjoy the football weekend, folks. For sportsnola.com, I'm Ken Trahan.